Back for another unboxing video, this time an Anthem MRX 540 receiver. Let's take a look. So much like the Trinoff that I've been demoing recently, the Anthem here isn't actually mine. It belongs to a really good friend of mine who's making a starter home theater room in his basement, dedicated home theater space. It's going to have this Anthem, it's going to have some golden ear speakers, kind of a smaller setup, couch-based setup, a to be determined ultra short throw projector and screen and that sort of thing. So I plan to cover his setup and installation and all of that over the course of doing it in the coming weeks on the channel. But as it is, we have the Anthem MRX 540, part of the newer series of Anthem releases. There's a couple of new receivers and the AVM 70 processor, which for me, I'm hoping might be one of my next and possibly sooner than later home theater upgrades myself. But let's take a look at what you get with an Anthem MRX 540. So some documentation, Anthem quick start guide, not very much to it, just a couple pagers, basic connections. As usual, the documentation, the real documentation, the manuals and so on are online. We got one box of accessories here. Now this is for Anthem Room Correction, ARC. A lot of people seem to really like ARC, and I think often consider it an upgrade to Odyssey and the Marantz and the Denon level type of equipment. I'm really eager to try out ARC, particularly in my own space. So this is the microphone kit. We have the microphone itself, one prong, metal, big silver here, in a nice cloth bag. Microphone cabling, USB-A to USB-C. One of the things about Anthem Room Correction is you don't actually connect the microphone to the processor or to the receiver. You connect it to the computer running the ARC software, which I think is actually really excellent and a really great way to do it. And then we have a tripod stand in the box for the microphone. Really nice, particularly if you don't actually have a stand. I'm not going to pull the mic stand out. It's basically a normal tripod-ish type of thing. A couple other miscellaneous accessories that just come bagged. We have the power cord, of course, regular type of length and gauge that you would expect for a device like this. We have the remote. Pretty standard receiver remote, I would say. Transport buttons, number pad, separate zone 2 control. Taking advantage of zone 2 is one of the things that I would be looking forward to do with my AVM 70 because I want to drive my home theater and my second living room zone over there off of the same processor, off of the same device, and I'm converging all of my current setup to that. I posted the video formerly overviewing the zone 2 setup with my Marantz AV7704, and I think that Anthem would be able to do just as an effective, maybe even a better zone 2 setup. So, remote control, a couple of antennas. As I understand, used for Wi-Fi and for Bluetooth. It's pretty common in a lot of devices nowadays. So even if you're going to wire Ethernet to the device, if you want to be able to use Bluetooth to send audio or what wirelessly, you still need to plug in the antennas. So always keep that in mind with a piece of audio gear. Antennas are often dual purpose, not just for Wi-Fi. All right, I'm going to set the box down and I'll pull up the actual unit. Extra careful with this one, of course, because just like the Trinoff, it's not mine. Not that I want to break my own gear either, but so for being the smallest receiver in the Anthem line, to me this feels pretty hefty. pretty well made. I love the Anthem front end. I think that's just really exceptional what they do there. We're going to zoom in a little more directly on the device itself. Again, that Anthem front end. Really big screen, very informative screen with the single dial. Very striking, very different I think than other devices. It's all metal, brushed, nicely painted. So again, this is the MRX 540. This is the smallest of the three. There's a 540, a 740, and an 1140. And while they contain some of the same parts and the same interfaces and such, they do differ in some of the amplifier section, but the bigger differentiator is the number of channels of processing. Take a look. I can hold this hefty boy up at the back end. And we'll break it down, the connections that we have on here. So HDMI board, 7 ins, 2 outs. This does not have a zone 2. The 540 doesn't have the zone 2 capabilities. You need to step up to the next models to be able to get that. This board is not yet HDMI 2.1 capable, but they have announced that they're planning for that upgrade, so the board will be swappable. And hopefully they go all the way. Hopefully they go all inputs, all outputs, including the zone 2 output on the other models for full HDMI 2.1, at least 40 gig per second, if not the full 48. A couple of connectors here and here for the wireless antenna, wired Ethernet of course. We've got some analog inputs, some optical inputs, coaxial inputs, IR input, and 3 triggers. Lots of configurability with the triggers. We do have pre-outs. So while there's 5 amps inside, this is a 7 channel capable processor. So you have 2, 4, 6, 7 channels of pre-outs, and of course 2 subwoofers, as well as a line out and some chassis ground and other things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 speaker terminal binding posts. And again here, everything is laid out very nice. One of the things that I like they do, I didn't notice this at first when I was looking at the Anthem gear, but I saw it noted somewhere else, is everything that's an input on the back is in a black section, and everything that's an output is a white. It's a minor thing, but it helps you really kind of differentiate what's what, and I like that. I think to me that's just like nice presentation, it's smart usability. Everything that I see about the Anthem, the build quality, the presentation, the face, the back end, I like it. I really like what they're doing with their devices. I really like what they've done with this line. So again, this is going in my friend's home theater. It's going to start as just basically a 2-channel setup, and he has a couple of Golden Ear Triton 2 Pluses on order. No additional subs yet, no surround speakers or anything like that. Just going to start building with some high quality gear, get the 2-channel and the display established, and then see what he adds over that. And we'll go over all that, and again, I'll highlight his setup as we do it. I'll follow up this video with a UI overview. I am very, very excited to plug this Ethernet port in and plug this guy into some power and access it in a web browser and look at their UI. I think the way that Anthem is doing the configuration, and from what I've seen the presentation of the online web UI, just to me looks stellar. I'm very, very excited to take a look at that and try it out. Again, jonesing for my own potential AVM 70 upgrade, perhaps in a few months, we'll see. So that's the MRX 540. If you have any questions, again, if there's something that you'd like to know specifically about this device, or have us test as we get it running and we get it set up in my friend's home theater, please post in the comments, let me know, and look for more Anthem content to come at my friend's house and hopefully at mine too. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more.